Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom, your guide to extraordinary weddings and events. I'm your host, Ashley Miner, and we're here to share expert insights and inspiring stories. Let's dive into the art of creating unforgettable moments. Hello, Nan and Liam, and Brad, who's sitting on the floor over there, but we don't have a mic for him, and he's not worthy of being on the camera, but is producing this here podcast.
Yes.
Thank you, New Eden Studios, for being on Pearls of Wisdom with me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having
We're
us.
happy to be here.
Well, spoiler alert, you did have to be here because you produced this podcast. So I didn't have you. I just happened to show up today, and this is what we're doing.
And we're all super excited being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Yes, we totally did not argue about which of us was going to be on, and now we are both on.
Yes, this is perfect. Okay, I feel like I could give you an introduction, but per usual, I am not going to. I'm going to allow you guys to introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, what your role is within New Eden Studios, and all of that fun stuff.
As we continue to look behind the camera over here.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I'm Liam of New Eden Studios. We are a photo video team. We started in 2017, I believe, if I remember correctly. I got into video as a high schooler. I went to the Career Center here in Columbia, Missouri, and took a digital media course and realized, hey, video editing is actually pretty fun when you get to do it in these really cool professional programs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stuck with it, and I've really enjoyed it ever since.
Okay, but I'm going to stop you because I want you to talk about, like, your education. Like, you started at the Career Center, and then you went to college to, you had a very clear path. This is what you wanted to do.
Yes, I got very lucky.
I also want to give a really big shout out because we share the same alma mater.
Yes, we both went to Taylor University. I went to college there and studied film and did a bunch of video there, and it was really awesome. I love Taylor.
And you got to go to Sundance.
I did.
Film Festival,
yes.
Right? Which is a really big deal, especially when you're just studying film.
Yeah, it easily was my favorite part of college was Sundance. I had the best time. I recommend whether you just want to see a couple of films or just want to go down to the mountains and enjoy a vacation and maybe see a movie while you're there. Like, Sundance is the best atmosphere I've ever been to. Everyone is there for the same thing, meaning you're next to someone on the bus to the next film talking just about what you just saw with them or just the different things you saw. Everyone there was super kind. There was a ton to do, not just movies. All the shops in town are all set up ready for it. It's a really good time.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
I have heard amazing things. Maybe that should be our next group trip is to Sundance.
We should do that.
I do want to go back one day.
Okay. We're going to make it happen.
We'll do it.
Okay. Liam, hello. Thank you for being here. Who are you?
I don't know at this point. I am Nan. I am Liam's mom as well. This is definitely a family business. Brad behind the camera is my husband. And I am the photographer of the group. That is my main role. I am the backup videographer when they make me. And that's how I started, is being a second shooter or a third shooter for them. And then I said out loud to Brad, which don't ever say out loud anything to him if you don't really want to do it. I said, hey, this is fun, but what I really want to do is that over there. I want to be the photographer. And he's like, oh, great. We're doing it. And so I got a camera. I started practicing. I started learning, attending styled shoots just to kind of get my feet wet. And then in 2021, I made the jump full time into photography. So this is my fourth wedding season, and it's
full time.
Full time,
which seems crazy, but what you did before this is you were a teacher.
I was a teacher. Yep.
And I feel like that always comes in handy in a wedding day because you're herding a bunch of sixth graders, basically all day long.
Yes, and I taught middle school, so I feel like there's so many lessons I learned as a teacher that have come in handy for a wedding day. So, I love the guys. I love the groomsmen. I think they're a hoot. So they never intimidate me at all because they're just fun. And it's a bunch of middle school boys, which is fantastic.
But you're also a mom of boys.
And yes, I have 2 boys.
And that makes a difference.
Yes.
It does make a difference. I have found that too as a mom of boys because I'm like, you know, I get this. I remember it might have been at the wedding giveaway or it was a different wedding. And I said, do you call your mom? I asked the groom, I said, do you call your mom mom or mama or do you still call her mommy? Because thinking of my little Augie who's 4 not calling me mommy someday actually could bring me to tears.
Right.
And he was like, no, I don't call her mommy. And I was like, okay, well, that does sound weird now that I said it.
They do stop calling you that, but...
I switched to mother.
Mother?
He calls me
That
mother.
is horrible.
A lot. But it's a term of endearment. Like, I feel like, mother.
But professionally, I have heard you just call her Nan.
Yeah.
Yes,
A lot.
I have been trying to, especially around on a wedding day when there's going to be a lot of people named mom around. So
probably a good move.
It's just a good idea for me to get more into the habit of calling her Nan.
Yeah.
Just for professional reasons, but I still will call her mom all the time.
Yeah. So what I want to talk about is running a family business and really what that looks like because I have been in a couple of family businesses and it's not always sunshine, rainbows, and daisies, but I feel like and I have a very distinct pleasure and honor of being very good friends with you guys. And so I see a lot of the behind the scenes outside of just a wedding or an event.
And you're still friends with us.
And I'm still friends with you. Oh my gosh. But I do want to talk about, you know, what is that like? Like how, when you started this business, was it always the goal to have this family business or did it kind of morph as time went on?
I think when we started it, I mean, it was just something we really enjoyed doing. Brad really enjoyed film. Liam enjoyed film. He was still in school. And so we didn't put any pressure on Liam to come back and work for us.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you want to do, wherever you want to go, wherever your path leads you, it's just fine. We were thrilled when he said, no, I think filmmaking, you know, wedding filmmaking is right down my alley. So we were really happy that you decided to come back.
Yeah, it was never really the goal to put together a family, quote unquote, business, like a family business, but like Dad, he has created a lot of businesses over time and is always looking for something new, and he started doing it more and more as I got into it, and then he started to get into it, and Mom started to get into it, and after college, Taylor does a really, really great job of showing you kind of every side of the business and allows you to really dip your toes in all of that different aspects. Like, I got to try out live camera work and live production and doing traditional filmmaking and documentary. I got to try it all, and what I found is I really enjoy the more laid-back aspects of more independent video production, smaller productions in general, because it's just a lot less pressure, a lot less detail-oriented, I guess. On a production, you're really only doing your one task in one part of production, and I enjoyed several aspects but didn't want to dive ridiculously into lighting or ridiculously into just editing. And this really fit that, and I love Columbia, Missouri. I've always loved Columbia.
It's a little better than the cornfields of Indiana where we went to school, where there's literally, when I went there, which was far before you went there was one stoplight and one gas station.
There is still one stoplight and one gas station.
Yeah, and they're right next to each other.
Yes.
Right there.
It is not a large town. And small town life, it's fine. But I do like having some town to exist. And then cities are too big for my taste. I already have enough problems getting around Columbia. I do not need more cars.
Yeah. Yeah. Columbia's definitely a happy medium.
Well, we were really happy he came back, but it's not easy all the time. Like, we had to have conversations. We had to, like, really talk about, hey, we're your parents, but you're also our coworkers, so we have to treat each other, and you're a grown-up, so we're your coworkers, and we need to openly talk about things, and so we've really communicated that.
Yeah.
And this is my first full-time job, so it's also been a process of learning, hey, this is a full-time job, you have to be on it, you have to learn. I have to learn how to be an adult. I'm fresh out of college.
Yeah.
I do have to learn scheduling and just learning how to work from home. Like, it's learning to put a schedule and make sure you're staying consistent. And
that's the hardest part about being an entrepreneur, because everyone always thinks, oh my gosh, you're gonna have all this time because you don't have to clock in from 9 to 5. Well, let me tell you what yesterday was for me. It was 8 to 10. Today will be 9 to 1, you know, and so it's just like this ebb and flow of schedule. But you're right, you know, especially when you have deadlines and you don't have one boss as an entrepreneur. I have 100 bosses at one time, because I have couples, I have their parents, I have all these other people, I have boards to, you know, go talk to and answer to if I don't meet a deadline for, you know, Boone Hospital Foundation. Like, they're not just one client, that's a 10-person deal.
And you're doing it all as an entrepreneur. Your social media, your scheduler, your HR, your payroll, your all of the things. And so
I joke that I play a lawyer only on Tuesdays.
Only on Tuesdays.
Because that's when I like to do my contract work. It's like Tuesdays. So I play lawyer on Tuesdays. I'm a therapist on Wednesdays.
Exactly.
Accountant on Thursdays.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's why we have Brad Beard.
Yeah. I know. Oh, gosh.
I don't know what we would do without him.
I know. We'd be lost. I can't, like, we're sitting up here talking, and I feel like there's a missing piece.
Yeah.
There's a big missing piece to this puzzle, and that is Brad.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
He definitely.
Brad will have his moment to shine.
That's right. He holds us all, this whole thing together. We laugh and call him our unpaid intern, but really, like, glue.
He's the one
holds
making
it together.
Making it work. Well, that's how this whole podcast happened. I think I mentioned it in maybe one conversation, and unfortunately / fortunately, Brad remembers everything. And
never tell him you want to do something.
Never say it out loud if you don't mean it.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it was just one day, hey, how do you feel about a podcast? And I was like, did I mention that to you one time under my breath? And now it's happening. It's been awesome. It's been so fun. And I know I've said this before, but just so the general population knows, I'm so thankful for this, because I just get to show up and be myself, and I'm just the talent, and you guys are the ones that actually make it happen. And I know Liam gets frustrated with me in my last minute, like, here's the description, it goes live in 30 minutes.
We really don't. Like,
that's the easy part.
It's fine. Yeah. We're pretty easygoing over there. We always say we work in the ish system.
Yeah.
You know, we can be on time, but we're also completely flexible.
Yep.
And that's how we work. But that's a wedding day, right?
Yep.
You have a timeline, but you also know you have to work in an ish system, which, again, I think teaching really taught me. So to me, the wedding timeline is the lesson plan for me, if you're any teachers out there. And I love it, because then I kind of know what to expect, but then I can be super flexible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rearrange. So
let's kind of jump into weddings. That is one of the things that you all do. But what does it look like for a client if let me back up, because a lot of my clients will come to me and if they don't have photo or they don't have video. And so when we get to kind of recommending vendors, I say, okay, do you have photo? Yes or no? Do you have video? Yes or no? And I'll ask them, how important is it to you to have one vendor for the both or two vendors? And, you know, you guys do both. So what does that really look like for you guys, you know, in terms of booking you together? What are the benefits? Do you love when you get to do both together? You know, jump into it.
Yes, and yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it when it's all together. It makes my life so much easier.
Yeah.
Booking, when you reach out to us first, it's usually through an email. and typically we try to get back as quickly as we can. And you know, my dad is really, really quick about it.
Yeah.
and
He's on it.
You guys are both on it. And then we'll usually ask for a phone call because there's a lot of questions and that people have that just over an email, it's really hard to work through them all and make sure you understand what you need. Because we're happy to do both photo and video, but we don't require it.
Right.
Because we know that there are a lot of other great photo and video vendors out there. And if you want someone else, that's excellent. That's really good.
Yeah.
It's very important to be able to work with others, and there are so many good creatives out there. Why
limit it?
Why limit it?
Yeah.
Well, and what I found a lot is a lot of people have been like, oh my gosh, I've been dying to work with this photographer for 4 million years, my entire life, plus some. And, you know, or, oh my gosh, I saw this video on TikTok and this guy is coming to do my video. And so, you know, that happens. So you don't always get to do them both.
Right. But it's great. Like, we love working with other photographers and videographers. I think you learn a lot. It's just fun to be with other people that are creative, and you learn a whole lot. But when we get to work with each other, we work with each other so much, we don't even have to really communicate very much on the day of. We just kind of float around each other because we know how we flow and how we work. I mean, most of the time it's crossing to the right, crossing to the left, just so you know, kind of aware, because we're at this point, we've done it
we
long
know
time.
Where people are going to be before they are there. Like, we know that I'm going to be with the girls typically in the mornings. Brad will go over to the guys typically. We just know where everyone's going to flow. Like, we know how we're going to move around each other. We know what a second shooter's going to be doing. We know what shots they're going to be going for. We know who's going to lead.
Yeah, we can talk about shots ahead of time. Like, oh, I had this idea.
Right.
And I think it'd be great for video and photography. So I think, and even if they jump in, and most photographers are great about that too, you know, but they can say, hey, I've got this thing in mind. I'm going to do it real quick. And it's not a big deal because then I know how to shoot around them because we can flow
Or
really
you're
well.
not like dancing around like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't get in their way, or like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't offend them by asking for this, or I'm not taking too much of their time. And it's just like, hey, I'll apologize to you later.
Right, but I need this. And I can't say, you're in my shot.
Right. Move,
We
Brad.
do that. That's our Easter egg. Is can you pick out the New Eden Studio person in your shot? We try to, but we are very cognizant of that, since we work photo, video all the time.
Yeah.
We're very much aware of that at the reception, during portrait time, during the ceremony. And we actually watch for each other. And so if I look straight across the room and there's Liam, I'm like, oh, I got to move. Or he'll see me and he'll move. And we do try to work around each other because you don't want to, be in the entire video in the background.
Yeah.
Shooting flash. I try to limit my flash when I know there's something really good going on, so it's just not going off the whole time.
Yeah.
Because flash looks
in a video
is very prominent. So I'm aware of all those things.
Yeah.
So I try to work with them, and I know they're working the same way with me. It's just really, and it's really fun. And you can tease each other and call each other names.
We have fun.
Yell at each other. And,
Listen.
in a fun way.
In the editing room, we're like, gosh, dang it, it's a stupid photographer in the background.
Videographer in my shot. But it's all, we're all playing.
It just makes the day really smooth.
Yeah.
It does.
And it's just easy.
It's just easy.
Yeah. That's really important. I think I've talked about this probably ad nauseum on this podcast, but it really makes a difference for the client when your vendor team is having fun.
Yes.
Versus when they're on pins and needles or worried or stressed out. You're not going to have fun if your vendors are stressed out or
it's a party.
out.
It's a celebration.
It is a party.
If you can't have fun at a wedding,
there's something wrong with you.
What's the point?
But we've all had those days, right?
Yeah,
where they're not.
I
as
understand
fun.
it's stressful. Like there are times where you do have to be serious and get work done.
Yeah.
But let's smile, have a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the goal is to make the client happy, because if the client's happy, they're not going to like your work no matter what you do.
Exactly. So when people book both photo and video. Is there any sort of like incentive for them to do? I know you don't require it, but
We don't require, but we do give a discount.
Yeah.
They get a bundle discount whenever they
yeah,
book both.
which is nice,
Yeah.
I think.
It's nice for us.
Yeah.
Like, we love
Put
it.
that money towards a planner or more flowers.
Or more flowers or just whatever.
A late night snack. Or I
Yeah.
could go on and on.
Yeah.
I have like a running list right now because one of my clients asked me this. She said, if I have extra money at the end, what would you suggest
Oh,
that I put it towards?
nice.
I'd say
And
put
I'm-
it to a house.
Yeah. Well, you could save it, but it's like only for this,
Yeah.
it was what she asked, and I said, well, I have a long list in my head of what you could put it towards, but I'll tell you the things I wouldn't put it towards would be sparklers.
No. Kill.
Or-
I want to lean in, but Brad told me not to.
Yeah.
Kill the sparklers.
Stop doing sparklers, everybody. No, they're pretty. They're
They're
cute.
pretty.
It's a cute photo that you're probably going to frame in your house. Like, they're cute. But,
Sparklers are great. They're just very easy to do wrong.
yeah.
That's me.
Let me tell
For
you.
people that don't know, there's a lot of different kinds of sparklers, and you have to get the right ones
Yeah.
for the photos.
You
to
didn't
look
even know what
really,
you were
really
doing when you
good.
said sparklers.
No, I do.
Sorry.
We're
Yeah,
going
it
to talk
is-
about sparklers because I hate fire, number one. And number two, when I'm the one who has to light those freaking things, the whole time I'm like, I'm so scared of fire. I'm so scared of fire. And everyone's laughing at me. And I'm like, no, I literally hate this moment of my day.
Yeah. There are things that we do to make that go smoothly. Don't get me wrong. So if you want to do I will do sparklers.
Do the sparklers if
sparklers.
you really want.
We're not saying.
But if you have extra money at the end, don't do it.
Yeah. We'll give you some other ideas. But yeah, there are ways to do it well, but that's a tricky one. Because it's fire and people have been drinking and
Or
it feels
alcohol.
very wrong to hand a very drunk person fire.
Waving fire.
Waving fire.
Waving
Please.
fire next to a wood building.
I have at one wedding, don't burn them, don't burn them, don't burn them, don't burn them. And you have to stay really far. I don't post sparkler pictures very often, but
Right.
if you do, always
use
pay
them-
attention to how far the crowd is away from the couple, and that's how confident I was that they wouldn't
Yes.
burn them.
Yes, I know. The ones that are so tight, I'm always like, oh my God.
That was probably a dry wedding.
Yeah. Yes.
That you
Or,
could trust it, but
yeah, not
really early
in the
in the
month
evening.
of August.
we're not in August. Anyway, we might cut this whole section. But.
No.
Sparklers.
We're keeping the sparklers in there. Okay.
So what would you do? We got off track, but what would
would
you
I do?
if you hadn't?
If there was extra money at the end, number one, I would always put it towards flowers because I love flowers and I think they're pretty. I think it makes it, I love that. But that's also partially being selfish because you'll see more of those images on my social media, my website, and all of that, usually because I designed it. And so I want to see that. I would do something fun either for an appetizer or for a late night snack that represents like the couple.
Yeah.
So like we were all at this wedding together back in December. Brendan and Jack, they always did pizza Fridays. Their first date was at a pizza festival in Boston. And so from there on they always did pizza Fridays. So their late night snack, and they got married on Friday.
Yep.
Their late night snack was pizza. So, like, I would think through little details like that would be like, oh my gosh, that's so representative of them. Or I would, bring in an experience. I'm really big into this, like, caricature or, like, watercolor idea. Or there's so many things.
I do love that.
I love
There's so
spending
many
other people's
options.
money.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
I have so many ideas.
And I would encourage people to get the video.
Yes.
Like
If they don't have
if
video,
they don't
do the
have
video.
videography, get the video. We've never, when people have booked, and I know it's another, like, weddings are expensive. Like, I get that and I understand that, but when people ask us, I'm like, no one's ever regretted it. But we have had multiple occasions where at the end of the wedding day, the couple goes, we should have gotten the video. Because I'm a photographer. I love photography, but there are certain things I cannot capture the same way as you can get in a video with the movement and the sound and the voices and
Seeing their facial expressions.
all of
and-
the.
Yep.
I had one wedding will always stand out to me, and it was bride and her two closest friends. That was her wedding party. It was a super small wedding, big reception. And they had this little shimmy dance. I can't even do it. So, Catherine, if you're watching, don't laugh at me for doing your shimmy dance. I couldn't capture that in a photograph the way we got it on film. And it made me so happy because of the looks on their faces, the laughter, the smiles, the emotion that went into those moments, in those fun moments and the sentimental moments. I'm a big proponent of the video.
Teary-eyed just thinking about it, because I think it is really important for people. Like, you don't know if you're going to lose someone. Like, you just don't know. And to be able to look back on those memories is just really, really special. I think it's something everyone should build into their budget.
Yeah, you should really think of video not as a bunch of photos in a row. Like, it's not about the visual as much as it is about the audio.
Yes.
About 75% of video, in my opinion, is audio. Like, we have moved away from the music video style because what's really special and what we can really capture that is unique to video is the audio portion.
Yeah.
So I love the intimate letter readings, the personal vows, the excellent speeches. Like, there's just something you can't like capture on a photo. Like, you won't remember all of the things said, but if I can capture them and give them to you, that's absolutely what I want to do. Plus, I love to capture the emotion of the day.
Yeah. Let's talk about the deliverables that a client gets with video then, because oftentimes they're not just getting the 2-minute highlight film, they're getting other things in that too. So what does that include?
So on the video side, the two primary things you will get are the highlight film, which is the full length, usually around 5 to 7 minutes on average. And then the teaser film, which is about a minute in length. The teaser film will be mostly just something quick. You sometimes include a little bit of audio. It's just quick, something to
Wet the palate.
We try to get it out
excited.
At most a week after your wedding, depending on how many weddings we did that weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
What else in the queue? Yeah.
But and then the full-length video will have all of everything I can include that is just the best of the best of your day.
I think Liam does a great job of telling the story of the day, and just really highlighting that for them. So it's kind of a recap, but also highlights their really special moments. I think he does a great job with telling the story.
Yeah.
And while they're not usually included in the packages, there are options for getting like the ceremony edit or speeches, or some people have even asked for raw footage, which, while I don't recommend, you're absolutely welcome to ask for.
Yeah.
And all of those are great options for just remembering the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I love my wedding film so much, and it's something that I look back on, several times. Augie, my 4-year-old right now, he's obsessed with watching it because he's like, but where was I? And I was like, not here.
Not
You were
here.
not there. And it's confusing to him because Brett, who is now 10, was about to turn 2 or 3 at our wedding. So he was little, like Augie's age, and he's like, but why was Brett there?
What is happening?
And I wasn't. And I'm like, oh.
You didn't invite me to your party?
Yeah. But he also thinks before he was born, he just was waiting in heaven for his turn.
Right. That's right.
To come to the earth.
There you go.
I think that's a
I
beautiful
think
waiting
that's
in
very
heaven.
sweet.
Yeah,
He was
kinda
partying
like
in
Care
heaven
Bear.
with God.
Yeah. Well, we got married, Brad and I, a long time ago. 31 years we've been married. So we had a camcorder set up
I love
recording ours. And it was so dark in our wedding. It was just candles that you can't see anything. So Brad ended up throwing it away.
Oh, no.
At one point, he hates keeping stuff. But
too.
I do wish, and I think that goes into like our company and just how we approach a wedding day too, is it's so meaningful because I wish I had a wedding video. I wish I had great photos. Even though, I mean, they're always going to be dated. 31 years later. And I love the photos I have. It's just that we didn't have great photos. And so I will do everything possible to make sure my brides and grooms have a great day. They feel relaxed because you get it. I always tell them, when you get in the dress, your day is going to disappear.
Yep.
It's going to go so fast.
Photo and videos to bring back the memories of the day.
Yeah.
Because that's what photos and videos really do.
Yeah.
I heard it probably on a podcast or somewhere, but really, we're historians of your day. And I love that idea. We're the historians of your day. So I'm not just looking for portrait time, those moments. We are constantly looking for what's going on your wedding day. So we're trying to capture you as a couple, but also just your wedding at large. So the things that you don't see, the things that while you were on the dance floor, there was a whole thing going outside on the patio with your parents and your grandparents and different things. So we're kind of bouncing between all of the different spaces, looking for moments to share and to capture so that they can see them and go, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that happened. Or sometimes they don't really remember what they said during the first look. Yeah. Because their nerves are, so it's
really so excited. And well, thank you for that lead in, because my next question was going to be, why is it important for photo, video to have a planner on the vendor team? But I feel like you just answered that, because, and my answer to that to a client is always, well, I am allowing photo and video to actually do their job.
Right.
Because if a planner's not there, you're playing that role.
Yes.
Which scares me for somebody. But you guys talk about that.
Photo and video are going to be with you for the whole day.
The whole day.
You're stuck with us for the whole time. So a lot of times when there's not a planner or just someone in charge in general, like, we are the people who are going to be making your timeline. We're in charge of where you're going to be at what time, which, while we are great at doing that and we can absolutely do it, it doesn't leave us time or just the mental energy to go and do more of the creative side of things. We have to keep you moving, and then you're going to be further behind because someone's always going to be asking you something, and it's just less herding cats for us.
And it's just things that we don't have to worry about, like pinning boutonnieres, making sure where the bouquets are, making sure that they're blotted and things like that. Again, we'll totally do that, but if we don't have to do that, then we have more time to take photos and capture more of your day and be in different spots. And
because every couple finds out that they have no idea how much they don't know on the wedding day. We cannot say it enough. You don't know what you don't know. We promise.
And for most people, it's their first time doing this.
Right.
Because the idea of a wedding, it's gonna only happen one time. Like, this is the day.
That's the idea.
That's the idea. That's the idea. And a lot of second weddings that we've shot, there's a planner.
Yes.
Yep. I have noticed that. I'm like, most of our second marriages we've done, there is a planner.
Yep.
So
those are some of my favorites, are the second wedding clients, because they know what's important and what's not, and they're like, no, we totally trust you. Yeah. And then it's just like, oh, cool.
Yeah. Your timelines are they're so dreamy. They make me so happy. And then I can just follow it, and I know that you're answering all of the questions instead of the bride and groom answering all the questions. And sometimes without a planner, the bride and groom are on the phone all day because they're just answering questions and people are reaching out and what do you think, and I hate it for the couple because I want them to enjoy their day, or their parents. I want the moms to enjoy the day.
Yeah.
And then I can be creative. I have more time to spend doing extra fun shots that I might not have on a day where things are running tighter. So,
yeah.
My children, if their spouses, when they get married, want it, I will have a planner for my kids' weddings because that would be my gift to them, because I just think it makes a world of difference. I can't imagine not having a planner there for them. So, if they're
Love
future
planners.
spouses want that, of course.
And if they like a certain planner.
And if they like a certain planner. But, yeah, that's going to be a whole nother deal. I will need a planner so you can tell me to keep my mouth shut about my ideas for
dinner
today.
planner.
I'm just saying.
That's so funny.
Anyway, but yes, planners are important.
I was talking to someone the other day about, and they're a photographer, and they were saying, it's so nice to not have to make the switch between left brain, right brain on a wedding day. It allows me to stay in my creative genius because I know you're handling the logistics.
Right.
And you're being that, left brain? I'm not, I don't know, whatever.
I don't.
The non-creative side, the more logistical side. And she's like, so I get to stay in my genius while you're in your genius, and then everyone's happy.
Right. And I'm just kind of checking the time to make sure I'm doing my part and not seeing how is the whole day running. And so, it's just great.
So to take it one step further and to kind of pat myself a little bit, I guess, why, and we work together a whole lot.
We do.
And so why do you think it's important for our clients to have specifically our team, because we're friends, we've worked together a lot, we have a lot of experience together. I have my own thoughts about why that's important for a client or for a wedding day, but I'm interested in hearing what you think.
I mean, again, I think it goes back to when you have a team that works together, that has fun, that knows each other. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of unspoken that just then happens. Mm-hmm. That you just can let each other do their jobs, and it just flows, and it's just fun and a lot less stressful because you're not worried about stepping on toes. You're not trying to figure out where the boundaries are. Mm-hmm. It's just easy. Mm-hmm. The flow of it is just easy, and then we're having fun. The client's having fun. Mm-hmm. It just works.
A great example of just when you know who a particular vendor is for us, if we know a florist and we know that they're going to be bringing flowers specifically so that we can use them in a flat lay, that is very nice. While most florists are usually really nice and usually willing to give us extras when they have them, when we know that the florist that we know is coming, we know they're going to have exactly what we need when we need it. Like, we don't have to worry about those things. We don't have to go and find them and then ask them, and then they have to try and find stuff for us because they didn't know we would need it. But
or they put together their favorite blooms and said, "Here you go."
Yeah, and they just handed them over, and we just take them and we make something really pretty, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And just easy.
Well, and all of my clients will always have flat lay flowers because I built that into every single timeline and every single proposal.
Yeah,
so
that's perfect.
You're welcome, Liam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashley. We love you. But it's little things like that.
Yeah.
Like, it is honestly little things like that. And even on, like, you have the details gathered. Mm-hmm. And so, and if I needed something, you or one of your interns or one of your assistants, they just say, "What do you need?" And I'm like, "Oh, I need this." And they're like, "Oh, I'll go get it." And it's not me going to get it. So we're still working on the setup.
Our favorite DJs know that I need to plug in, and they know they're ready for me when I'm running from the ceremony directly to get ready for the reception. They're like, "Okay, here it is."
Yeah. I think it's just human nature, right? You're more prone to help your friends than you are some random stranger. And I think that just kind of flows into, even though I want to help everyone, and my number one question to every vendor is always, how can I help? I'm more prone to help Nan because she's one of my best friends than I am some photographer I just met that morning. Right? Like, I will go get you, I will get anyone water, but I will know that you need water because I've worked with you a million times.
Right.
And,
and you know I'm not going to drink.
Right. And I need a snack because I will not eat.
Of all your vendors, like, you've worked with them enough to where I know that they're going to need this at this time.
Right.
I don't have to go and ask them a million questions, which just saves time and stress.
Yeah. You've learned the flow. You've learned what works and what doesn't.
And again, I keep saying this over and over and over again, but Mid-Missouri has the most incredible vendors as far as people to work with that are easy and fun and kind and helpful. I'm so thankful.
Yes. Amen. Me too. Okay, one of my last questions, but what is one of your favorite things specifically about weddings?
People are happy.
Yeah.
I love it when people are just having a good time and happy, and that's really, because that was my goal when I was looking for what job I wanted to do. I just realized I just want people to be happy. I don't want to be in a job where people are just not stressed and not happy all, like, it's a day where everyone gets to enjoy the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's a better working environment?
Yeah. 99.9% of the time, it is the most happy, joyful,
Right.
grateful.
We get to have fun all day.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
Love it.
I think overall, one of my favorite things is because Brad and I have been married for 31 years. Mm-hmm. We got married very young. And I know how important that memory of that day is 30 years plus. Mm-hmm. Like, I still look at our photos. I still remember that day. And I would give anything
to have some video out of the dumpster that Brad threw in there?
Well, it was dark. You couldn't see us anyway. So, yes, to have that back out of the dumpster. No, but you can't even see it. No, photos of my sister and I getting ready.
Oh.
I mean, it was just in my house, like in our kitchen. We had pizza. We went shopping that morning for some wedding jewelry because I was super prepared. And just pictures of my sister and I that morning. Just kind of, I have no idea what Brad was doing that day. Honestly, I would love to have had pictures of that. You were probably, I don't know. I don't even know what he was doing. He's over there going, I don't know.
Yeah, no clue.
And that's what I do. I know people are like, oh, weddings are a lot. It wasn't like that back when I got married. It wasn't, but I would give anything to have some of those photos and the in-between moments. So we have we have the ceremony, we have portraits, a few portraits, and some family pictures, and a little bit of us cutting the cake, which I have thoughts on that, but this is not the time. That was it. And so for me to document the day, and I do take too many photos. I do. I'm just owning it. It's never going to change. I'm trying. But when I get to culling their wedding day, like, how do you choose? If I love the photo, I think you're probably going to love the photo, and why would I hold it hostage for you? And it's more work for me, and I know, and I get it. Like, it's okay to, like, stick to your guns, photographers, on what you're going to deliver.
Right.
I'm not saying that. I just know for me, it's really hard for me to, cull that down, because I wish I had more.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. I'm an overshoot. Hi, I'm Nan. I'm an overshooter. I'm working on it.
But I think everyone appreciates that. So that's okay.
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if it's overwhelming when you get the gallery. But anyway, all that to say, I love all the in-between moments. That's my favorite part of the wedding day. It's the in-between moments. It's the two grandmothers that were best friends because the families were best friends. And the couple thankfully warned me. They said, keep an eye on this too. So I was keeping an eye on them, but I have a photo of them, and they're leaned in, and they're whispering to each other, and they're holding hands.
Cute.
And then there's a whispering picture, and then there's both of them heads back laughing. Like,
so cute.
That's my favorite part of the wedding day. The
Love
great grandma holding the newborn great grandbaby. It's the couple just being themselves on the dance floor, or just having a moment of quiet together. They didn't even know they were being photographed. It's the in-between moments. Those to me are priceless, and those are the ones I don't have that I wish I had. So that's what's really important to me.
Oh, I love
the
that.
in-between.
I love that. Okay, well, Nan has had a previous career.
I did.
You have not. But if you were not
I should have thought about this.
I can't believe you didn't. I was thinking about it last night.
We've done this how many times?
I know. Like, how are you not prepared for this?
How are you not prepared?
Honestly,
out of all the people that should have known this was coming, how did you not know?
You go first.
If you were not doing this job with New Eden Studios, what would you be doing?
If I could redo my life all over again and go into a completely different field, because I have none of these skills, I think I would really be interested to go into music.
Yeah.
I really work with music a lot in video, but I don't know anything about anything truly about music. I kind of wish, like, there have been times, and it may happen in the future because there's still a lot of life left for me. Mm-hmm. And I just find it very interesting. I love the way music can move people, and I love the way there's just so many different unique types of music, and I'm a person who loves pretty much any type of music. Mm-hmm. So I would love to maybe one day get into music and learn how to make it. And
like production side, or like you want to be like the lead singer of a band?
I don't want to be the lead singer. I wouldn't want to be a part of a band, but I would want to like be in the production side and really just put together I feel like I could really put together some interesting music, because
you can come over to the Miners house any day. Currently we have drum lessons going, bass lessons, guitar, and it all happens right above my office. And so I'm living with the Red Hot Chili Peppers at all times.
Love it.
So come on over.
I have a lot of respect for musicians and what they create, because I get to use what they create, and so when I hear good music tracks, I just love them.
Yeah. One of the cool things that Liam does on social media, and you haven't done it in a while, so now when we do this, you have to like do this story, but he'll take suggestions, like send me a song and I'll make a reel with, you know, some of the footage that you have.
I am pretty confident in my ability to use pretty much any type of music in
you
a
used my
unique and creative
suggestion,
way.
which was The Spins by Mac Miller. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
That was fun.
It's one of my favorite
mostly
songs.
Just because, like...
Don't listen to it with your kids, though.
Yeah, it was not... The hard part was not... Was just finding a section of the song I could use on social media and still fall within what I consider are...
appropriate.
I don't know, terms of service.
Yeah. What you're okay with people knowing that you're okay with.
Right. I'm so glad you went
now
first.
Have to do that. Okay, Nan.
I know now. I'm so glad he went first. Okay, so if I was not doing this, I would be a Broadway star.
Yeah.
I cannot sing or act at all, but that would be that is my dream.
Yeah.
And I can remember song lyrics like nobody's business.
You really can.
I know every song that I've ever heard.
What was your dream role?
Oh, that is hard.
Mine's Alphabet.
Well, I know. I was like, probably in Wicked. I don't care. Like we could be Alphaba and Glinda. Glinda.
Definitely the Glinda in the
That would be so much fun. I would really, any role. I love the stage. I love musicals. I've never been on the stage.
Oh.
I've never really. Well, I was in a play in 8th grade.
Okay.
Yeah. In 6th grade and 8th grade.
Were you a tree?
Yes. In 6th grade, I probably could fish out a picture of this too.
Oh, yes.
In 6th grade, I was like, we were togas. We were like Greek goddesses.
Oh.
6th grade Greek goddesses. Mm-hmm. And I had this horrible floral that I made myself. Yeah. And it was just like this horrible floral halo. And I have the tiniest head in the history of the world.
Yeah.
And so it's hilarious. I'll see if I can find it. But
Please
I haven't been on the stage since 8th grade, and it would terrify me. And I can't sing a lick, but I can remember all the song lyrics to all the songs. So maybe you could produce the music, and I could be on the stage.
There you go.
But,
I love it. My answer this week goes along with that. Okay, side note, I am very excited for Wicked, the movie, to come out. I
can't
cried
wait.
at the trailer during the Super Bowl.
I've seen it like 8 times. Like on the
I've
stage.
seen it like 4.
Yeah. And you see,
Yeah.
I raised my
love
children
it.
right.
It is my favorite Broadway musical, which it's like everyone's, so that doesn't feel very like
It's
original.
good.
But it's so good. It's so good.
So good. Okay, my answer this week, and I was reflecting on this because I was watching the Eras Tour on Disney Plus, and Scott, my husband, reminded me, he was like, you remember when you used to tell people that your dream job was being Taylor Swift's backup singer before it was like cool to be a Swiftie? And I was like, yeah, I've been saying that for literally 10 years. I really want to be her backup singer now.
Now we've got to make that, because you can actually sing.
It's actually a skill that I
Like
possess.
you really can sing. I love it when you sing.
I actually could possibly try out and make it.
Okay, Taylor.
Taylor, please.
We're reaching out to you. Make our dreams come true. She can sing, and I'll just pretend.
Yeah. I feel like that is a dream.
Yeah, and Liam can be down, like, just shadowing the sound production, and then Brad can just work his magic with everybody.
Okay, here's another idea. We make a documentary about my quest to become a backup singer for Taylor Swift.
Let's do it. Get ready.
We need
it's
another
happening.
project, but here we go.
I'm just saying. You said it out loud.
Okay, well
Said it
now
out
it's
loud.
happening. Yes.
Now it's happening.
Yes. Okay, well, guys, let's wrap this deal up.
That sounds great.
Thank you so much for being guests on the podcast that you produce and that I just show up to.
Well, thank you for making it so easy to be a guest on this podcast. You're awesome. I was so nervous.
Oh my gosh.
And I like standing behind the camera.
Yeah.
This is so easy.
You're
so
getting
easy.
ready for your Broadway
For all of
debut.
you that don't know, Ashley is a very good podcast host.
Such a good interview.
She makes life
Thank you.
very, very easy for me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for all the work that you guys do. Thank you for loving on our clients and loving on my family and me. I appreciate you guys.
We love you.
Love you too.
Ta-ta. Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's Pearls of Wisdom podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Miner with Delight Events. As always, you can find us all over the internet by following us on Instagram at Delight Events Mo and on Facebook. And please consider leaving us a review here for the podcast. Subscribe if you're on YouTube or on Spotify. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.